is controlling the last province of Idlib, and there is still a battle against so-called Islamic State. We heard yesterday from the US Vice President, Mike Pence, that there's just a little bit left. Let me begin at the very end. Khulusi Akar, who joins us from Turkey, Turkey's Minister of Defense, exactly the right person we'd like to hear from today after the American announcements. But we'll leave it for just a moment because at least if the media reports are true, it was a phone call with President Erdogan, which reassured President Trump that the end of the Islamic State was near, and that, as we heard yesterday, not just from and the day before from Vice President Pence, we also heard from Lindsey Graham that you want your allies to do more, and Turkey, of course, is one. Defence Minister, could you let us know what Turkey plans to do next? The American pullout will begin. Turkey has talked about a safe haven. Safe, keeping who safe from what?
Thank you, Liz. First of all, our main concern, same, before and after the withdrawal of our American colleagues. Because the main issue for us, the safety and the security of our border, and the safety and the security of our people. Along the more than 400 kilometers, we have still experiencing lots of the skirmishes, lots of the violation, harassment coming from the Y.P.G. Day and night we are fighting against them in any way. And this is a great concern all over the country. So this is the main aim, our main goal to get rid of the Y.P.G. This is the reason, main reason, even from the decision of Mr. Trump's withdrawal from that area. Now after the withdrawal, what we will do? Still we are working very closely, very carefully with our American friends. We already established a task force 2-3 weeks ago in Washington. They already started to work in detail, and then depending on the needs of the area, we will decide how to deal with it. However, there are some information coming out. For instance, 30-40 kilometers, pushing the Y.P.G. to the south, out of that area, to provide the security of the whole the border for exactly 440 kilometers. So this is the main issue. However, while we are doing this, while we are saying this, as usual, as always, we are keeping saying that we have respect for the territorial and the political integrity of the Syria. So in that sense, there is no doubt. But the main issue I'd like to underline the security and safety of the Turkish border and then the Turkish people. This is the main issue.
I think, I think the United States, Mr. Jeffries is nodding. I think they accept that Turkey has security concerns. But when Lindsey Graham asks, and it's not just Lindsey Graham asking, that the European countries should send forces, there's even been a suggestion at one point that Arab states could send forces, that is about protecting the Y.P.G., stopping the advance in terms of their objectives of the Syrian Syrian government's military forces, and to stop them from going and negotiating on that side. So their objectives seem to be different from yours. You see them as the threat. They see them as someone who should be protected.
So within this, now again, I'll repeat. Sorry, the main issue, our goals, security. So to get rid of the, terrorists, regardless of who they are, the Y.P.G., Daesh, whomever they are. And then while we are doing this, we are never ever, we are aiming to violate any, rights of any of those countries. But at the same time, while we are fighting against the terrorists, never ever we are aiming at the people living over there. While we are getting the security, providing the security and the safety of our border and the people, at the same time we are always working for providing the right conditions for the return of the refugees, many of them living in Turkey, back to their homes.
Yes, but I think there is a fundamental. I think we have to, without going into all the details.